And now, back to PTR Radio with Shaggy.
Who the fuck are you? You nothing. You are nothing. And you will never be anything. Never.
Colin.
Anybody know who you are? You miserable, presumptuous, no talent. You obviously don't have the talent.
And Mike, the Ape Man.
You are everything that's gone wrong in this world. You are self-consumed, no talent, mediocre piece of shit.
PTR Radio.
And welcome, everybody, to another edition of PTR Radio here in the fabulous interweb. Oh, and Mike's got a phone call. It's not on my side this time.
No, apparently it's some e-fax. No, Bank of New York, right fax. Nope. All right, I'm assuming Bank of New York, BNY, right fax 2. Yeah, okay.
All right.
Sure.
Welcome to another edition of PTR Radio. Here again, like I said, on the fabulous interweb, as we are every 2 weeks, or as we strive to be. Want to say hi to any new listeners that we might have. You can always check out the show. PTRradio.com is our website. You can also check out our Facebook, Twitter feeds at PTR Radio, Instagram as well. You can get in touch with us. 217-787-8232. Yes, the phone is working tonight.
0232.
0232. Yeah, 787-0232.
I thought you said 82.
No, 217-787-0232. 0232. So, yes, if you want to get in touch with the show, reach out and touch us. We do have the phone working.
0232. It's like R2D2's cousin, but not.
Yeah. But not. Also, if you are new, you've got lots of shows to get caught up on. Over 300 in our podcast feed archive. And I say that because I had somebody in one of my classes that asked me what my podcast address was and if I would hook it up on his phone. So I said, okay. I don't know. It's kind of risque, and occasionally a bad word will come through. So, but he said, oh, that's okay. I have lots of time. I don't have TV, so I just listen to the radio or podcasts. And so I hooked it up for him, and then a week later, he goes, I just slowed it down, man. It was taking all my mobile data. I'm like, yeah, it will. I told you, don't do that. So, but hey, I got us one more listener. Listeners, what are you doing? Get out there. Get us one. If everybody gets us one more listener, then we'll have one more listener. That's the way it works. We got the Blair family at this, which, by the way, Mama and Dad Blair, happy anniversary. It was yesterday.
Yes.
No, it was
2 days ago.
Yes.
Sorry, I've been busy.
It has been between the last show and now.
Yes.
So happy belated anniversary.
Yes, it was
Don't
Saturday.
specify.
Yeah, and if I remember right, was it 47 years?
Yeah, something like that.
Boy, that's a lot of picking up somebody's dirty underwear.
They've been married. Oh God, no. Shut up, Mike.
So and we normally don't do shout outs like that, but for our most loyal of listeners, we don't have a choice. We have to. So yeah.
There was two ranges of years. One was when they met, one was they got married, I forget.
You forget which one's which?
Well, I think 47 might have been when they met.
Okay.
Because it wasn't that many years between them getting married and me being born. So.
Oh, okay. So Mama Blair was ready, is what you're saying.
I was saying it wasn't 6 years in between.
Okay. See, because I only say that not to be crude, but I got a friend of mine who is, he asked if I would DJ his wedding, and I said, of course. And this was like a couple weeks ago. He goes, well, would you DJ it? And I'm like, of course I would, And then he said, well, what will you charge? And I said, nothing. You don't charge friends to do things. That's the way that it works. You don't charge anything. And, 45. Well, I was giving him a couple to grow on, So I said, okay, well, when's the wedding? Because I'm used to this now. Weddings, DJs are booked like a year ahead of time, right? Venues are booked like 18 months ahead of time anymore. Okay? Mm-hmm. A year is the minimum right now for most things.
Yeah.
Not that my calendar fills up that much, all right? But I'm pretty much open. Yeah. If you're getting married next weekend, I could do the gig, all right?
Oh, no, mine does. And I'm going to disagree with you. I do not DJ for free. They get a heavily discounted rate.
Okay.
That being said,
depends on how good the friends are.
Well, that's true. That being said, I have never been asked to DJ a wedding.
Okay.
Nor do I really want to.
Well, we'll go into some stories of the one I did this last weekend.
But understand that if I were to ask to DJ and or officiate your wedding, that would be your present. So I would not charge you, but that would be your present.
Mm-hmm. So, but I said, when are you getting married? He goes, October. I'm like, oh, okay. And it's like 14, 15 months away, something like that. He goes, no, this coming October. Oh, you mean in like 2 months?
Yeah.
He says, yeah, we want kids and we're not getting any younger.
Oh, Jesus.
And I'm like, well, you could start right now. 2 months showing ain't going to mess up the fitting that much. I mean, I guess it depends on the girl, but
True. Then there ain't going to be.
Trust me.
Not that Kim did a lot of drinking at our wedding, or not that like she wasn't drunk. However, we did have an ice luge at our wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, we were those people. And yep, there are pictures of her taking shots from the ice luge.
Okay, so there's a story I just read a couple of days ago. This is probably from 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But people are talking online about people getting trespassed from Disney World.
Okay.
And so someone who worked at one of the resorts there was talking about there was a bachelor party. They got really drunk and they ended up, they went out the balcony of their room and climbed up on the roof of the hotel. And like had all their soft goods, like, the sheets and the blankets, everything else had been thrown off the balcony or on the ground. So the groom and the entire male side of the wedding were told that if they entered Disney property again, that they would go to jail. So the question became...
Disney jail?
No, actual jail. So the question became, what did the bride think? Because the wedding was supposed to be the next day.
Oh,
when she found out that the groom and the groomsmen all were not allowed on Disney property where the wedding was going to be.
Oh,
maybe it was a televideo wedding at that point. Video presence. Do you take this iPad with a FaceTime of your husband?
Better hope you got good Wi-Fi and unlimited data. That's about man. But I don't want to think about a wedding that hinges on having good Wi-Fi,
good reception. I don't want to.
Holy crap!
Yeah. So I did a wedding this last weekend, and I stress about weddings because it's an important day, and you don't want to mess up an important day. You really don't want to mess up an important day of somebody that you know. Okay, somebody that you know and that you like and that you're going to see often enough. Okay, so I'm like, okay, I have a 3-page worksheet. Go through the worksheet. Fill in all the questions. All right. Then we sit down and we talk about everything on the worksheet. All right. It includes things like phonetic spellings of the wedding party's name. Okay. So that I don't mispronounce somebody's name because that happens. And, so, all that stuff we went through just fine. And then a week before the wedding, I get a text going, hey, the wedding party's changed. Where this person got deployed, so we had to substitute this person in, and we switched the order up because of that. So she sends me a new list of the wedding party and the order that they're to be announced in. Great. I have that a few days before. Then the mother of the groom comes up during the reception before they're announced and says, hey, can you also announce the ring bearer and the flower girl? Add them into the procession. Okay, just need their names.
Pronunciations, please.
And luckily they were easy. So put them in there. And then she goes, oh yeah, and they were a half an hour late starting the wedding this morning because the bridesmaids all left their flowers in the hotel. When they got to the church, they realized it, and they had to go send somebody back for the flowers.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to have a wedding without flowers, without the bridesmaids holding flowers. And so that sets the. I'm used to weddings not being on time, but that starts everything then shifting down.
Yeah,
because this wedding was the reception. The reception was already 2.5 hours after the wedding was over, is when it was due to start. So I had already been entertaining people for 2.5 hours. All right. So I had my daughter, she was working it with me. So I'm like, okay, I heard they're getting close. I want you to go stand out in the hallway, shuffle everybody into the room. I don't want anybody in the hallway. I just want the wedding party there. She goes, okay. I said, and then just give me a hand signal when I'm ready to when you want me to start introducing them. And they're all lined up. I'm like, they know their order. Everything should go. And the groom's mother is there also helping her out with this. Well, disaster kind of hits. And I'm going to show you a picture here and it won't be of any of the wedding party, but I'll show you a picture of the venue because it's important. All right. So, and unfortunately it's on my phone, so I'm just going to hold it up to the camera, but here's the venue. Okay. Here's part of the venue.
Been there.
Okay.
Okay.
So what happens is after the wedding party arrives, the bride and the bridesmaids decide they want to take more pictures right here outside where the entire reception can see them.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. Then bride has to go potty and has trouble getting back into her dress. So,
I mean, is it like?
But what's great is,
so
they go outside, they take pictures, they come back, and then my daughter gives me, or no, I'm sorry, before they go outside, all right, I hear, I see my daughter do this, all right, which to me says, all right, they're ready to come in. So I start introducing, I go, okay, folks, your 2019 lineup is, because they're baseball fans. Yeah. And I start off with the ring bearer and the flower girl. And then the mother of the groom and my daughter both go like this. Because they're like, no, the limo just pulled into the parking lot. And so I'm off so I'm like, that's what we call a foul tip, folks. Continuing on with the baseball analogies.
Oh, Lord.
Telling people, all right, that was a good try, but we need more excitement next time. Then they come in, they go do those pictures in front of that in front of that window, showing everybody what they look like. Then they go potty. 30 minutes has passed since then. And one guy comes up and he goes, that was a hell of a foul tip. 30 minutes. I'm like, you're telling me.
I had to catch it.
So then I start doing the introductions. Flower girl, ring bearer, junior groomsmen, junior bridesmaids. Okay, first set of groomsmen, bridesmaid. Next set. And then I'm like, okay, and everybody, here's Mr. and Mrs. And then I'm saying it, and suddenly I think to myself, I think there's more chairs up there on the front table than the people that I announced. But I announced Mr. and Mrs., and here comes the best man and the maid of honor, because she forgot in her resend of the order to give me their names.
Oh, Lord.
So when I did my new list, it didn't have the best man and the maid of honor on it, and so I jumped a couple. So I completely missed them. So, so yeah.
Fun.
That was how the wedding reception started off. Then we sat down to eat. Okay? Now, I do like this place because where you go for a buffet dinner is not actually in the room. You actually exit the room and you take this little U hallway. You leave, you go through the buffet line, and then you come back out. Okay? But what's great is they have 2 of those little walkways. Well, I'd only seen the caterer setting up in one of them. So that's where I dismissed the head table and then the groom's mom and dad's table too. And then I go to direct the bride's parents' table because a long time ago I made a mistake. And I dismissed a regular table before the couple's parents. And I will never make that mistake again because I was yelled at for it. So I dismissed the bride's table and somebody goes, "Oh, they can go in there," pointing over to my left. That I never saw the caterer setting up for, but I've been busy. Maybe he set up a second run through and I can get these people in and out really quickly. Mm-hmm. So I go, okay, well, evidently you can go in there too. And then somebody goes, "There's no food here." I go, okay. They're like, "But you can get to that food from this door." I'm like, "Well, if you want to walk the long way, I guess you can go in that door, or you can just go straight into where I told you to the first time." I'm like, you guys are changing plans on me in the middle of this thing. Stop yelling instructions to me. I know what I'm doing.
Freebird!
That was the last of my screw-ups. Okay? Now, the only other thing that I got told was that I shouldn't have, even though it was on the itinerary, people wish I hadn't given the father of the bride the microphone because he gave a 30-minute speech. The best man and maid of honor total maybe took 6 minutes. Dad kept on going. And going and going and going. He thought he was giving a presentation to a trade show. That's how far he was going. My daughter turned to my wife and said, "Don't ever let Dad do that." And she goes, "I don't think he would. He's not that clueless."
You're not that clueless, and do you have that much to say?
Mine would be a little bit more entertaining, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, it all came from the heart, and you could tell that, and I'm sure he thought that he was doing a great job, and none of it was bad. I'm sure he had the best of intentions. It just went on for a little bit long.
I think the only way you could mess up your speech, would be to at the end of it start playing the song that we play at the end of PTR.
Yeah, but overall, I like weddings because they're fun for me because I get to be on the mic and I get to have fun with the crowd and there's that interaction piece of it. Because I got to introduce all the dances and everything, and then me and the photographer, I always get along with the photographers and the caterers. I don't understand these DJs that just ostracize themselves and they're like, "I'm here to do this. I just spin records." Yeah.
Because if you do that, then, when you're waiting 12 hours for the photographer to get finished, you don't have any interaction there to say, "Hey, I exist over here."
Yeah, and I'm like, listen, this can go so much easier if I give you what you need and you give me what I need. And same thing with the caterers. I mean, everybody is coming to me anyway to get the itinerary and everything else. It's like the itinerary came to us all on text. Okay? The caterers, the photographer, and me. I was the only one smart enough to send that to my email and actually print it out. So that I could then, make notes.
Yeah.
So everybody came to me asking what's going on, and that's what typically happens. So, Mike, I don't know if that mirrors some of the stuff that happens at your events that you end up DJing, but that's...
Luckily, I don't have to do any kind of introductions. 9 times out of 10, when I'm doing an event, the biggest issues that I have had are people requesting songs that I just didn't bring with me.
Yeah.
People requesting songs that I absolutely refuse to play.
I had 2 of those.
I am proud to say I have never played a Cardi B or Nicki Minaj song at any event I've done. And I intend to keep that streak going.
I do Baby Got Back and follow it up with Anaconda. That's my double play there because one leads into another. But other than that, I won't play them.
But then I will run into issues with trivia. Like, I did a birthday party once, and she wanted me to do trivia, kind of like what I do at the shelter events occasionally. Mm-hmm. And the problem is she did not anticipate that her friends would be so hesitant to play. It was like pulling teeth.
With trivia, you have one of two. Either they're too hesitant or they're super into it. There's no halfway with trivia.
No. So,
yeah.
But hey, at the birthday party, my feeling was when she left, she had a great time.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, and that was, my theory is I have to make 50% of the people happy 50% of the time. And I have to keep alternating who I keep happy when. So I play, Nicki Minaj Anaconda, and then I somehow have to work my way into Brooks and Dunn Neon Moon. All right. But I have to make that balance. Otherwise, everybody's upset.
Yes. And I obsess over playlists and trying to figure out, blocks of BPM and all of that. I obsess over that, and that's a problem.
Well, see, and I'm not, I take the easy way. Well, not the easy way out, but I take the, lazy way out, I guess. I just crossfade between. I don't beat mix, and I know I should. I know that if I was more professional, I would beat mix between songs, and I would try and match my BPMs a little better and do a nicer transition. But, for what I've done so far, crossfading has worked. Would it work better if I beat mix? Maybe, but that would turn me into more of a wiki DJ than what I ever advertise myself to be. I straight up tell people, if you want a wiki DJ, I'm not your guy.
Now, see, I will go out and I will find remixes of songs, and I will pretty much let the software beat match. I mean, I'm not a wiki guy either, but if you have a crowd that wants to dance, I have dance music. I can do BPM mixing like that so that they don't have to stop and keep.
Right.
I have that ability. Do I use it all the time? Probably not. But I also like having my DJ controller in front of me because it makes me look professional.
Yeah.
It makes me look cool.
Yeah. I won't tell you, I custom made everything that I have. And is it bigger than what I need? Probably. Is it, but it's damn impressive. I get compliments on it every time I go, by people who are amateurs or whatever that don't know the real stuff.
Yeah.
They like what I'm doing, and that's all that I care about. I'm not living or dying by this income. So,
Now, see, I am desperately trying to get the shelter to, or I got to stop saying the shelter. Desperately trying to get the rescue to settle on the rescheduled date for our big trivia event, because my thought was, since I have the ability to print up my own table covers, I am going to approach local businesses and say, hey, you give me a $20 gift card that I can give away, or gift certificate that I can give away as a prize during the trivia and the games portion, I will put your logo and contact info on my table cover, which is going to be front and center, and everybody can see it during the event.
Yeah.
And see if I can do that instead of, just giving away bottles of wine that we have donated, because not everybody drinks wine.
No.
And that's the kind of thing you can probably get away with. I was talking to a local business owner. He a couple years back, who was at one of the local bike shops. Mm-hmm. And he says it's so annoying how many people contact him trying to get free bikes to give away. He's like, no.
Yeah.
But, a gift certificate for $20, that's not.
Yeah, because the likelihood is they're going to come in, they're going to spend $50.
Exactly.
Like a bike shop. Okay. Free tune-up.
Yeah. Free safety,
bike. Free safety check or tune-up service of your bike. If I went to a bike shop, a golf place. Maybe you want to give me an assortment of balls or something, or a bag of teas or something, or again, a gift certificate that will draw them in so that they will, local garage. You give me a coupon for a free oil change.
Exactly.
So things like that. Not asking for huge donations, but just little things. And if you don't want to, hey, that's great. If you'd like to give, even if, let's say the bike shop wanted to just give me a $20 Amazon card because, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Or I'll say this Amazon card is courtesy of Colin's Original Bike Shop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. I figured that would be an easy way to
and have get
some support.
What we found when I work with Crime Stoppers is, either the people are willing to give you something that they want to donate, for you to give away, or sometimes they will just donate directly to your cause and say, well, listen, I don't want to give something away, but I will gladly donate to the rescue $50. Okay. Or whatever, whatever the case may be. Cause, we end up with that all the time. We have, there's a difference between sponsors, which give us prizes to give away and all that other kind of stuff, versus people who just donate to benefit. So, and because we do that with our big trivia night. I mean, we have like 4 different levels of giving for that. And I mean, it gets you different things, whether you're on the big screens or whether you're on the table mats or whatever. So, No, I mean, you have to look at those different types of funding opportunities. So, speaking of raising money, okay, now, Mike, you just purchased a new vehicle finally.
Yes, I did.
We just talked about this on the last show, and you said sometime before the end of the year, I'm probably going to be purchasing a new vehicle. And I said, oh, great, you can buy a Ball of Fire, because that's what you were looking at was a Dodge Durango, if I remember correctly.
Correct.
And I saw articles where those are prone to just spontaneously combust. In fact, we saw a few pictures of them. So my question is, do you have hot dogs and graham crackers and chocolate bars and marshmallows ready to go for when that inevitably happens?
No, because I didn't buy a Dodge Durango.
Oh, okay. So you went with something safe.
Safer.
Okay.
I actually wound up with for the first time in my life, a new vehicle. And by new, I mean it had 2,000 miles on it because it was a dealer demo.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes.
So a 2019 Ford Explorer.
Oh, okay. I think my mom has one of those.
Was not planning on... Yeah, this is basically the sportier soccer mom vehicle. I'm not going to lie. It's not much. It is an SUV for the minivan
generation
adjacent. It's minivan adjacent. How about we call it that way?
So I know you can print stickers for back windows. You guys have that.
Yep.
So are you going to write one that says "My name is not Karen"?
Actually, Kim has already started investigating getting the turning it into a billboard for the business.
Are you getting a bejeweled license plate frame, maybe?
No.
Are you going to get it totally wrapped?
No.
Butterstown Gifts and Creations on one side, PTR Radio on the other.
That's not quite going to happen.
And then you can just drive through the center lane, advertising both businesses.
If I was going to do that, I would have just wrapped the hell out of the Tahoe while it was still in my possession. Of course, then that would have possibly... Now, look, I went to this particular dealership with the intention of looking at a used Ford Explorer.
Okay.
And it turns out that the particular one that I wanted to look at, despite the fact that I called them to verify it was there that morning... Had it
mysteriously already been sold?
No, it was taken to the body shop because it got scratched up.
Oh.
I said,
that's a good reason.
Okay. And the guy was legit. He said, I can call you when it comes back in a day or two. I said, well, there was another one here I want to look at. And we looked at it, and it wasn't actually white. It was like pearl white. And I was like, yeah, it's nice. I can't live with that color. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
So then he's like, well, have you thought about new? Not really, because I'm not that cool.
Because beyond this rich exterior lies the heart of a poor man, is what you were trying to say. Because that's what I said when I walked into the dealership.
Basically, so he said, "Well, we got this one up here. It's a demo, but we could still it still qualifies as new. Why don't you take it for a test drive?" Okay, for a test drive. Pull back in, and I said to Kim, I said, "I'm not getting my hopes up." You'd have been so proud of me. I was so prepped to argue with these people about the used ones. I had printed out comp listings from TrueCar that were the same features and cheaper, ready to write them down. I had the entire service history of my Tahoe printed out, ready to fight them on how much they were going to give me. I had a spreadsheet that had charts where I knew what my credit union's interest rate was on used car loans, and if they couldn't match those rates, I had all of these calculations.
You had your 3-ring binder ready to go.
Of course, the used stuff that goes out the window.
Yeah.
That's not needed anymore. I have numbers already worked out. This is my maximum down. This is what I want for my truck if I trade it in, and this is where I want to be. He comes back, beat all the numbers.
So he said, I see a tough negotiator here. I'm not even going to try.
I had
You had nothing to argue with.
He goes, okay.
You should have said, well, that's damn right. Cheaper.
He said, these are the incentives you qualify for. This is how much down. I look at Kim. I'm like, he goes, and we're going to give you $6,000 for your truck. Kim and I look at each other like, is this real life?
David at the dentist.
Is it really? He said, oh, and by the way, you'll get $2,000 cash back.
Where's the camera? Where's the camera?
I'm serious.
Where's the camera?
I looked around. I said, I'm being punked. I said, nope. He said, it's all right there in writing.
Quick, sign it before he has a chance to change his mind.
But now, it took a week before Kim stopped being mad at me.
For spending less than you were planning on it?
No, because my vehicle is newer and has more stuff
than hers.
Like she had heated seats and she loved that.
You have heated and cooled?
Seats. No, I don't have cooled. I have heated. I can't even call it leather. It's what Ford calls Active X seating surfaces, which is a fancy word for pleather.
Wow.
But they're heated. She had Android Auto. I now have Android Auto.
Which is great, isn't it?
I don't even use it because it has nav.
Well,
and the nav is good.
Android Auto is just great for. Oh well, you listen to Sirius. That's right. So,
it has the panoramic sunroof.
Ooh,
she's not happy. She's not happy about that.
Yeah, I know.
Has power lift gate. She's not happy about that. Not the hands free one.
No,
but just, push the button and it comes down. It has remote start.
No, she's definitely not happy about that.
She's not happy about it.
Yeah, that's at least something you can add on.
But
does it have any driving nannies?
It has the blind spot. And the parking assist. Yeah, she had the backup camera. I had the backup camera. So I mean, it doesn't have the adaptive cruise control. It doesn't have the automatic braking.
Oh, those are adaptive cruise control is so nice.
Oh, you've grown to enjoy that?
I like that, and I love the steering assist.
All
right. Just because I learned to love it when we went on our vacation a while ago. Because it's like, nothing's worse than driving along, especially when you're on straight-ish highway, right?
Right.
And you're trying to eat food out of a bag. Okay, and you got that moment where you're unwrapping your hamburger, steering with your knees. Okay?
Yep.
And up comes a bend, and you're thinking, hamburger knees. which one's not going to work. You know, and here it's like I got about 40 seconds where the car's just going to take care of itself.
Yeah.
Before it starts to complain.
You just have to knee the steering wheel a bit.
Yeah, and then it'll take care of itself again.
Yeah.
So that's been so good for eating in the car. I know that's not what it's meant for. It's meant to keep me safe. But what you've done is you've made it so that I can eat in the car. I can now eat ice cream in the car. I couldn't do that before because spoon and Blizzard cup, very difficult one-handed.
So I don't want to, I don't want to go too deep. But I think the biggest problem with the nannies, the driving nannies, is that you have to learn that when the steering wheel does the nudgings thing, that isn't the car yelling at you. It's the car giving you haptic feedback about the road.
Oh, my wife hates it. Because one thing is, the bridge that's right next to our house, or the underpass that's right next to our house, is a little too narrow. Okay? And at least on my car, when you go under it, it thinks you're going to hit the car in front of you that isn't there. All right? It thinks that you're going to hit a car. And so it just flashes. It doesn't actually stop you or anything. And she goes, "Why does your car flash that you need to brake when I go home?" And I'm like, it's because it thinks the bridge is a car and that you're going to hit it. I'm like, just be happy that it doesn't actually stop.
Yeah.
Hi, Mama Blair. So she hates, because she's a gawker. She sees a wreck on the side of a road and she just, eyes right. And of course, steering wheel starts to go. And then first she's over the line and then she's into the rumble strip. Well, she's just used to the rumble strip giving her the haptic feedback, not the car fighting her back. And I'm like,
just let the car go.
I'm like, the car's trying to tell you that you need to pay attention to where the heck you're going and not the burning fire to your right.
Either that or just take your hands off the steering wheel and let it take care of itself.
So she just hates it. And we know she's going to have to get a new vehicle here in about, less than a year. And she's like, "Do I have to get all that stuff on my car?" I'm like, that's standard now. Yeah. I'm like, that is pretty much, I'm like, you want heated seats. You said heated seats and remote start is a must. So therefore, the answer is yes. Yes, you do.
No, it's not. I just told you it's not.
Yeah, she can get a Ford Explorer. But I think even the Ford Explorers in the next couple of years are going to get.
She doesn't want the Ford Explorer. She wants a big used SUV.
A big used SUV?
No, a big SUV. Sorry.
Oh, big SUV.
Yes. I was mixing up my acronym there. She wants a big SUV.
So she wants a Pilot?
I'm really going to try and talk her into not the Pilot. Because I don't like the way the Pilot seats fold down.
So a Palisade.
Well, I think I'm going to have to do a lot more research when the time comes. But until then, I'm going to try and make this thing last as long as I can. Because I would really like to get to a point where, at least for a few months, we have one car payment. And
that's the thing. That's the thing that sucks is now we got 2 car payments.
Yeah.
In the house. And it's like, what the hell happened here?
Well, and Mike, I know you got a good deal on your trade-in, okay? But
he actually said it.
Yeah, here we have a new law that just went into effect. For those that don't know, Illinois is broke. Sorry, but we are the guy on the corner asking you for your spare change. So come on July 1st, a whole lot of new taxes went into play, most of which we won't talk about. But one of them that did go into play is now your trade-in value is taxed.
What?
Oh,
yes.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, yes. When you trade in a car, now this is what's killing people is they don't read all the fine print. Obviously, people just love to outrage and they like to just read the headlines. But this wouldn't have affected you, Mike. If your trade-in value is worth more than $10,000.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So they're looking at the people that trade in their cars every 2 years or so.
Yeah.
Okay. Or the higher end vehicles or the more wanted vehicles.
Yeah.
Then that amount above $10,000 is taxed. I think it was at like 3%. Okay. And that's added on to basically the purchase price of the car.
Okay.
In addition to the tax that you were already paying on the new car and the tax that you already paid when you bought the car you're now trading in. So this is where people are saying, well, you're taxing me twice. Because technically they're right. You paid tax when you bought the car. Now you're paying tax again when you sell the car to buy a new car. Now, are you paying all the taxes again? No, you're only paying the tax above $10,000 of what its value is. But they're saying, hey, and I see where they're coming from. They never paid this before.
Yeah, but you go to the car dealer and you say, okay, you want to give me $20,000 for the car. How about you give me $10,000 for the car and knock another $10,000 out the price of the car I'm buying?
See, but enough of that happens, and the state will get wise to it, because that used to happen a while ago, and the state got wise to it. The city got wise to it because we have a 1% tax in the city called the use tax.
Yes.
And they used to pull that all the time.
The only way that I can even come close to justifying this in New Jersey, and I'm assuming that this is maybe how it works in Illinois, but maybe not. Your trade-in actually reduces the finance amount.
Correct.
That's right.
Yes.
It's basically cash.
So you're saving on the interest, and no.
See, the state is.
I don't see how that.
The state is
but
acting
it
like
reduces
it's an
the amount that you were
appreciated.
paying.
The state is acting like it's an appreciated value. Like you're getting taxed on a gain, but it's not a gain. It's just less of a loss.
Well, they tax you if you just sell the car.
They don't tax you when you sell a car. They tax the person buying the car.
But technically, would you have to claim the sale as additional income?
As income? No.
So I guess what I'm saying is, instead of trading it in, what if you just go to CarMax and sell it to them?
Well, see, and that's what I think I think it's going to increase that market.
Yeah.
Because I think that's, but I think I don't know that they haven't closed that loophole too. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
That's not
like I said, it's probably not going to apply to most middle to lower income people, because you're not going to have a trade in worth $10,000 or more.
Yeah.
When you're trading something in, because most of us run it, until it's. I mean, my last trade in was worth $3,500 is what I got for it. So I got no qualms about them taxing $10,000 trade-ins, because I'm never going to be one of those people.
Yeah. You got $3,500 for a car that had no transmission.
It had a transmission held together by bubble gum and duct tape. Well, actually, no. It had 3 months left of a warranty on a rebuild. So, hey. Because that was the second rebuild. So.
Yeah.
Oh, and I left out one last feature that she's mad about.
Mm-hmm.
Heated steering wheel.
Oh.
So,
which I have no idea why. I said to her, this may be the dumbest feature to get excited about, because if it's cold out, I'm going to have gloves on.
Does she want?
And if I have gloves on, I'm not going to be able to feel a heated steering wheel. So I don't know how that works, but whatever.
Well, like, steering wheels are usually like that hardish rubber.
Yeah.
And so my mom actually makes steering wheel covers. Not like the furry ones, but these, like my daughter got one that was TARDIS material. And then on the inside of it, the thing.
What material?
It's TARDIS.
As in
like Doctor Who.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's just, okay.
What exactly is TARDIS material?
Well, it's a material with a TARDIS pattern on it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So it's not TARDIS fabric. It's a TARDIS print.
We didn't skin Matt Smith and use his,
Well, no, just the TARDIS is made of wood, so it would have been like a wood. Anyway,
but no, and she made some for other, and then so that it wouldn't just spin around the steering wheel. She uses those rubber shelf liners on the inside, so that it gives you that rubber grip. So that solves the cold steering wheel problem. And if you want, I'll have her make one with little dog and cat footprints all over it, and we can ship it to you. And that'll be her heated. And we can even make a pocket for those little pocket hand warmers, and then we can look. Heated steering wheel. Done. Problem solved.
See, Mike, if you remote start the Explorer, then you don't have to put gloves on because you go out the door and you get right into your warm car.
Yeah,
gloves are not necessary.
Well, yeah, he won't need them, but she doesn't have remote start either.
Yeah.
You get a remote start, you solve these problems, Mike, really.
So I haven't even gotten to the point where I can monitor everything from the damn app yet. That's a ridiculous thing. They do want to charge. They do want me to sign up to charge me. They want me to put the damn car on my cell plan. They want me because I could do a Wi-Fi hotspot for my car. They want. I ain't paying $10 a month Wi-Fi service on my cell phone.
Did you see if your car has? Did you see if your car has a system update yet? Because that's the first thing I did when I got home with my Honda. Was I joined my Wi-Fi and I'm like, ooh, system update. Yes.
Well, yes, I did join the Wi-Fi, but I am waiting because supposedly I read this week that Android Auto is getting a big update.
It is. It had to go through. It had to go through the who was NTSB? No. Yeah, National Traffic Safety Board.
Yeah, yeah.
NTSB had to approve Android Auto because they have to approve any entertainment system that's designed for the automobile. So, but you're going to get things in that. The big thing I read that you're going to get is you're going to get automatic resume of whatever was playing when you turn the car off. So,
which is great. I mean, not to brag, but Apple's been doing that for 2 years. So it's very nice. I didn't realize that Android didn't have it.
Yeah.
Just real quick, what did happen with the Durango?
It was getting too difficult for me to find a used one that I liked that had all the features I was looking for. That was the big problem I was having. Mainly because finding one with a factory tow hitch just completely destroyed the market. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna. Yes, I did kind of downsize, but not terribly. So,
and you ended up with new, and news. Yeah. There's a lot of incentives you get for a new one that you don't never get for a used one.
Well, and that's just it. That's what made it feasible, was the fact that there were so many incentives, and it was a year because the Explorer went through a redesign for the 2020 model year. This was not only a demo of the last version of this Explorer. They wanted to get it off the lot so that they could push the 2020s more.
Right.
And Mike,
there was extra incentives.
We have a picture without the license plate. Can we put it up?
Yeah.
That you posted to the Slack channel? Okay. So for those that are curious, here is Mike's new ride, if you're looking on Facebook or on YouTube. So that's the new 8-mobile. And yes. I love the color on that, though, Mike. That's a very nice color.
It's called magnetic. I call it gray.
Yeah, I call it gunmetal gray myself, but
I like any color. I think that one qualifies. I like colors that look different in different lighting and cloud things, so that your car always looks slightly different depending on the weather.
Now,
like red, it's red. Great. That's boring.
So, getting back to some of the topics that we talked about a little bit earlier. So, we talked about the couple that had a bachelor party at Disneyland.
Yep.
Or Disney World that had, issues. But that's not the only thing going on at Disney World right now. Evidently, a mommy blogger got very upset with millennials and childless adults going to Disney World and making things difficult for her and her children, Colin.
Yeah, she didn't. She was mad that she would have to wait in line because other people without kids were already in line.
Yeah,
that's. I think the definition of first world problems there.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Let me see if I can find this. So, here's from Jen at Condrop, or Jen Cat Writes. She quoted this mommy blogger. It pisses me off to no end when I see childless couples without at Disney World. DW is a family amusement park, yet these immature millennials throw away their money on useless crap. They have no idea the joy and happiness it is to mothers who buy their babies treats and toys. I thought you just called it worthless crap. They will never experience the exhaustion that it is to chase a 3-year-old around and getting stares at, assuming I'm a bad mother. Well, if you bring a 3-year-old to Disney World, okay, which is admittedly a theme park, okay. Now, granted, there are things for small children at Disney World.
I mean, yeah, mostly it's taking your little kid to different characters and getting their pictures taken.
Yeah, which I don't know that millennials are super in line for characters. Are they, Colin? I mean, you're the Disneyland correspondent.
I would say there's a lot of millennials, yes, getting their pictures taken of characters.
Really? Because that kind of surprises me.
That is their second favorite thing to do. Their first favorite, there is a wall that is purple in Tomorrowland.
Okay.
So their favorite thing to do is get their picture taken in front of the purple wall.
Why that wall?
I don't know. But if you look it up online, yeah, it's a famous purple wall.
So if I just look up purple wall photos, you think that's going to bring me what I want for millennials? So she says, this C-word in some very slutty shorts was buying a Mickey pretzel, and Aiden, I assume that's one of her children, wanted one, but the line was very long, so I said later, and it broke his poor little heart, and he cried. I wanted to take
Oh my God.
I wanted to take that effing pretzel from that tramp, like, thanks, B, you made my son cry. Oh, real good example of how to be an adult in front of a child if that's the way you think you need to act.
So part one, you're calling her the tramp, but she don't have kids, so she obviously kept her legs closed.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's part one.
Yeah. I'm betting this mommy blogger probably has a tramp stamp somewhere.
Or did.
Yeah.
Part two, if they paid the admission price, well, guess what? If all these millennials weren't allowed to go there, your tickets would probably be twice as much.
Yeah.
Because
no doubt.
Gate attendance would be down.
No doubt at all.
And Disney got to get their money. Okay, they like the big worm of the entertainment. Like, don't mess with my money. Mess with my money is like mess with my emotions.
So it's pretty ridiculous.
So this all happened last year, but it blew up recently on the internet again. So Shaggy looked up purple wall pictures and immediately found it's a thing.
So it's a new purple wall unveiled in Tomorrowland.
It used to be just purple. Now they have a geometric pattern on it now.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out the fascination.
I don't understand the fascination. Other than purple is really popular right now. It's like the in color.
Okay. Colin,
What's the Latin long on that wall? Maybe there's something with the coordinates.
I don't know. Like maybe it's like
So you're asking me in a couple of weeks when I'm in Disney again to get my picture taken?
Yes, I want some selfies of Colin in front of the purple wall.
Okay. So I will be at Disney after our next episode of PTR. Mm-hmm. I am planning to shoot some video for PTR, mostly concerning food, because that's what people mostly want. Okay. Yes, my parents did their anniversary celebration by going to Disney World for the weekend. And yeah, the lines were very long to get character pictures, and not only for children.
Yeah, according to this woman again, Disney World is for children! Quadruple exclamation point. People without children need to be banned. Mothers with children should be allowed to skip all the lines. Okay, that's a little bit conflicting there. If we get rid of all the people other than mothers with children, you're just going to end up with lines of mothers with children, and then how will you determine who should be in front? So, you have no effing idea what it's like to stand in a line for 3 hours with a cranky, tired, exhausted toddler. And I can't just tell him that we can't do something because it's his vacation too. Well, yeah, you have to. The world is all about waiting. Learn to queue, as the British would tell you. All right.
So that was annoying. But what was more annoying was a New York Post article. It was titled, Sorry, Childless Millennials, Going to Disney World is Weird.
So they're telling you how you should spend your vacation?
Yeah, that's actually exactly what this article is. He tries to set it up that you should take a trip to Paris.
Oh, because the two are definitely price comparable.
That's his point. He says it's cheaper to go to Paris.
Really? International flights really coming down in price, are they?
Well, okay, so here's what he did.
What hostel are you staying at in Paris that's going to take one of your kidneys?
So he's using Norwegian Airlines. There was a Norwegian Airlines flight round trip for $280. Now, for those who don't keep track of travel news,
I bet that's first class air all the way.
Norwegian Airlines is a super discount airline that is in great danger any day now of going bankrupt.
You only have to sit on a crate next to the chickens for 7.5 hours.
Yeah.
One of the few airlines that still allows smoking.
I mean, they are.
It has nothing to do with Norwegian either.
I mean, they're just barely behind Elbonia Air.
Yeah. The next thing he did was he calculated how much it costs to go to the parks. He says it costs you $109 per day to visit one of the 4 parks. That's the cost of a 1-day ticket. And then he says that's $750 for 5 nights. Like, no. You took the 1-day ticket price and multiplied it. $654. That's right. That was his hotel price. $654 for 4 days for a 6-day trip to Disney. He took the $109 1-day price and calculated and multiplied it by 6,
which doesn't account for bulk buying discounts.
Yeah, every day. Once you get above, I think it's like $450. Every additional day is like $10 to $9. For the price he gave, you could buy an annual pass. So it's more like $450, let's say, for a 6-day price. I was going to look it up, but the internet's being slow. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's how he. But then this is how he patched it all up. Then he said, "I know I'll get a barrage of emails and tweets explaining all the crafty ways Walt worshippers shave a couple $100 off their Disney trips." Oh, you mean crafty ways like, buying tickets at the price they actually sell it for, not the mythical price you decided to come up with for your article? Noted. That's not the point. Why do the same old safe boring things? So his point is not that this trip to Paris is cheaper than going to Disney World, so you should do that. His point is just you shouldn't go to Disney World, you should go to Paris.
Okay, so 6 days, all right, can cost you anywhere between $445 and $611 depending upon deals.
Yeah, if you go on Christmas Day, then it might be $611.
Right.
I'm
just giving you the price range.
Yes.
Even the highest price is less than what he quoted.
Yes.
So.
But
yes,
he's not taking into account the fact that French meals, you got to order 3 of them in order to fill up.
Not only that, but you got to do something while you're there.
Oh, look. Big Ben, Parliament. Oh, no, that's London. Sorry.
Well,
yeah. Arc de Triomphe. Eiffel Tower.
The Louvre. Okay.
He does have a funny way of lying to end it. He says, "Oh, who am I kidding? You'll skip the Louvre and just go straight to Disneyland Paris." And yeah, I would 100% go to Disneyland Paris.
I mean, they are not comparable.
No.
International travel or in the States.
I'm all for going to Paris.
Look, these are the same millennial parents that want to change the day Halloween is on.
And Milky Way is enabling them.
Snickers. The one candy that can kill half of those kids with one bite because they're all allergic to peanuts.
I hope that's going down now that people know that it's not eating peanuts causes peanut allergies.
We'll give out 1 million. We'll kill off 1 million kids if you change the date to the last day. Yeah, profits are that much, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my kids can't trick-or-treat enough because it's on a weekday and then I got to work and
I don't care. You'll be out trick-or-treating, so you're not buying all that extra candy because you parents don't have PTA meetings and figure out when to do this shit in shifts. No.
Yeah.
All you kids are trick-or-treating at the same time. That means I got to buy 10 times more candy and have my dogs going nuts all day long. Listen to me. Listen to me, you fucking millennial bastards. All right, go buy your own goddamn candy. This is the only reason that I support trunk or treats. You want to move it to the last Saturday in October? Every town better have a mandatory trunk or treat that all you parents attend. And stay away from my house.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Halloween is the day I remember to turn off the lights.
It's the one day, right?
Oh no, it's the lights are off the rest of the time. It's just that's the day I remember to check.
So
that's the day I got to sit on the goddamn front porch with my hooch to stay warm.
Oh, yeah.
And if anybody's wondering out there, yes, we know that Mike is behind. Shaggy's trying to find what's doing it.
Yeah. It's always something.
I swear, I mean, you're so happy you took all the stuff and pushed it on one machine.
Yeah,
Where to spend your money? Yeah, well.
Okay, I think I know what to kill.
Now, I was going. Yeah, the New York Post thing. I was going to complain that that only applies if you live in New York and could fly directly to Europe, because we can't do that over here. But it is the New York Post, so I guess they're okay with that. But yeah, like I said, I'm doing a Disney weekend. It is costing me food.
Yeah.
What? But in fairness, that's because you have DVC points.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
still, that's still costing me well under. I forget exactly what the calculation is. Let's see. Each night is like 12 points. Each point costs me like $7, $9. Anyway, so let's say $7. So 7 times 10. Let's say $90 a night. But but then I pay that using gift cards that I buy at 5%.
Yeah,
off
don't forget about his whole pyramid scheme.
His Disney Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, I mean,
and then I get another 8% back for a retail me now.
Yeah.
So
thanks to the referral links that I post on Facebook and buy from myself.
Yeah.
Plus
airfares.
Yeah.
Or Rakuten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
see, Rakuten doesn't do me any good because they don't give you money back for buying gift cards. But Retail Me Not hasn't figured out how to block that yet, so I get the money back from.
Yeah, but he buys those using Discover so that he gets the cash reward bonus card, cash reward points.
No,
then
Chase
he turns those into
Chase don't reward points, which then transfer over to Southwest 1-to-1.
Yeah,
and then that's how I get my airfare. Yeah,
he pays off Chase with Discover, and then that. Then
I
paid with Western Union.
Yeah, and then I use my Southwest credit card to get the free upgrade, so that I'm in the first couple of slots of people getting onto the plane.
And all that's paid for by telling people that he's IRS support and that there's a warrant out for their arrest.
I think Colin bought the first Bitcoin for $1.
And now it's worth $1.50.
To use any money.
Bitcoin was up over $13,000.
Yeah, I've never
a couple weeks
had
ago.
Any Bitcoin.
I said, do what now?
Yeah,
if somebody had said to me, yeah, okay, you can invest in, you can mine this money the same way you used to do. You can mine at home, right?
Yeah, or SETI at home. Said yes, the same way that you look for aliens, you can look. You can look for imaginary money.
So your PC can make imaginary money that's going to be worth thousands someday.
What's unfortunate?
I'd have been okay, Elon, stop smoking.
Okay, but
That's exactly what happened. That's why I didn't do it.
I didn't even know that some of these exist. Okay, so I did. I got into Bitcoin and I got into Ethereum. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, now there's XRP. There's Bitcoin Cash, which was a fork. There's Litecoin. I knew about that one. Now there's one called Stellar Lumens.
Isn't there also one called like Tron?
Somebody was trying to do that, but I think they got stopped with a copyright violation.
That's Disney. They don't.
Or now it's like TRX, I think is what they're calling it.
Yeah. So new to Coinbase, EOS, Chainlink, and AUGUR. Augur. There's too many, and Facebook is trying to do their own coin now.
Yeah, but they're
like Face Coin, or CoinBook.
The government is coming down on that one.
And it's just I don't know.
Facebook's was not going to be a Bitcoin type. It was just going to be basically Facebook gift cards. But
anyway, there's too much. It's money. It's money. All right. It's what your grandma used to sign a card, put in, and mail you on your birthday. Money. Greenbacks. That's what we need.
So let's go to the
I'm going to come up with something called cash, and it's going to catch on. Everybody's going to start using it. Not really. I'd never have cash. But
yeah, neither do I. It's dirty.
All right.
Let's go to the story I put in at the very bottom.
Very bottom.
Yeah, the Batman story.
The Batman story.
So this is I think last time we were talking about the Flash and
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
So, and I said, I'd watched only a few episodes of early Flash and stuff.
Which, by the way, we talked about that a little bit because Routh, or whatever his name is, the guy who plays the Atom, was going to again play Superman. Well, I never really watched Superman Returns. So I finally watched it over since our last show, and not bad. Not bad. He's not as buff as other superheroes. But
Christopher Reeve was not buff
he
as
wasn't.
Superman either.
Yeah.
He wasn't, and I thought he had a Christopher Reeves-esque quality to him. He definitely, just like his character Ray Palmer, he plays the Boy Scout very well. Okay? And if you've ever seen him in the 9 Lives of Christmas, I think, the Hallmark special that he did, it was a Hallmark.
He was a fireman?
Yeah, where he was a fireman. I think he's just typecast into that role.
Why do I know that?
Because I told you about it. I said, listen.
Damn it. No, I remember watching it because the chick was the baker and kept going to the firehouse to me.
No, she's a veterinarian. And she's studying to be a veterinarian. And yeah, it's actually, of all the Hallmark movies that my wife watches, that one I'll watch because I don't mind the 2 lead characters in it. They're not super annoying. Now the side characters are annoying as all hell, but those 2 aren't bad. And I go, oh, there's the Atom. I like him.
So as I was saying during that discussion, I was barely paying attention because I have not actually watched any of those shows. Like I said, I watched a couple episodes of Arrow. I watched some of the first season of The Flash. But they've now done something that's going to make me basically binge watch all of it to get ready.
You're going to try and watch 8 years of Arrow and 6 years of The Flash. And
yes.
Okay. This is good. And you got to watch Legends of Tomorrow.
Exactly. Yeah.
4 years of that.
Yes. I'll have to watch all of this stuff because they announced that Kevin Conroy, the original voice of Batman in Batman the Animated Series, will live action play Bruce Wayne, the old version of Bruce Wayne from Batman Beyond. And that is enough to get me to do this.
I honestly think you will like the DC shows.
I'm sure I will. I just haven't had time to watch them. But, to have the best ever Batman be in there, I have to watch that.
If only they could get Mark Hamill to do a Joker.
Yeah, see, the problem with Mark Hamill is that he's vocally the best Joker ever.
Yeah.
But making
actually, what's funny is Mark Hamill has been in The Flash.
Yes, I know that.
So you would like those episodes.
I'm
because
sure
he was the trickster.
Oh, well, I'm raising my eyebrow like, he was? I've never watched The Flash. That's the one.
Yeah, so the Flash, they had a episode. It was one of the first ones that introduced this idea of multiple Earths.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so they had Jay Garrick, one of the Flashes from the other universes, come over and to try and train Barry, and at the same time, the trickster got out of jail, I think.
Wait a minute. Was that during the Flashpoint thing?
That's when Jay Garrick came out, I think, and was
Jay Garrett the one he played the Flash in another TV?
Yeah,
TV
he was
show,
the original Flash TV show guy.
Okay,
and he also plays
episode.
Barry. He also plays Barry's dad in
He's
the
not
original.
allowed to do that. He can't play Barry's dad too.
It was a great cameo for the first season because he played Barry's dad.
I remember that.
And so, but there was some good time. There was some good things in there, especially seeing that you see this guy who was Barry's dad come back as he's a Flash on a different Earth, and now he's coming back and he's helping him out. And so,
yeah, I think the hard part is going to be I'm going to find all of these episodes with their original air dates and try to watch them in original air date order.
Yeah.
That's...
And luckily for you, most of it's all on Netflix. Netflix has Arrow and The Flash for sure, and they have Legends of Tomorrow. You can do it all on them.
Yeah, good.
They don't have current season, but you can find that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'll send out a signal to find it, some sonar, and beep, beep.
Yep.
And then Comcast will blow up again. Oh.
So
I'm actually, as we were talking, it occurred to me that I found is one of my nighttime rituals now, before I go to sleep, is to scroll through Facebook Marketplace.
No, that's dangerous.
It's very dangerous, but some of the crap that comes up. Let me see if I can just find it now. There it is. Okay. Let's see. Can I share this to you? Copy link. Mm-hmm. Let's see if this works. This is being sold a town over from me.
Oh, my. Okay.
So this bears sharing with the world.
Yeah. So it looks like we have a General Lee.
It is a 1968 Dodge Charger General Lee disguised as a 1969 highly optioned 838H motor, signed by the TV show cast. So if you scroll through, not only do they have the Hazard County license plates, but
I only
dashboard,
got the picture itself.
Oh, really?
Oh, hold on. Maybe it'll get me there. Okay, never mind. I clicked on the wrong thing. Yep, it'll get me there. So
you have Enos, Cletus, Cooter, all signed on the inside, and then inside the trunk, you've got all the Duke boys and Uncle Jesse, and everybody signed it. They're asking $149,500 for this.
So you're thinking about taking the Explorer back, is what you're saying? And
I have one big complaint.
Mm-hmm.
There are door handles.
Well, just because there's handles doesn't mean that they work.
Okay, well, that's true.
There were handles on the original one, but the doors were still... I think to be street legal, the doors have to be able to open. Nothing says you have to use them, though. And a real man wouldn't. But wait a second. This does not look... This is an automatic.
Yeah.
I thought
the show used ones are pretty much automatic.
Are they?
Most stunt cars are automatic.
Okay.
Because stunt drivers are too busy doing the stunts. They don't want to deal with the transmission. Stupid, silly random factoid that I've gathered over the years.
So, yeah. Looks good, Mike. I'd say second mortgage on the house. New show vehicle.
No, see, the plan is, if it's still available by the time we sell the house and move south, then it might fit in.
Okay. It'll get you your that's your passport, basically. Now, the question is, does the horn work correctly?
Oh, it better.
I mean, because that's what
if it don't, then you better cut that price in half if the horn don't work right.
Yeah. So, all right.
So you know what? Now I'm just going to share this again because it's fitting regarding this car. I mean,
yeah. So, all right. Let's see here. Time for at least one more thing. So,
considering that,
let me just
wrap
up with the whole CW superhero thing here.
Yeah.
Because quite frankly, just because you cold doesn't give you a right to change your entire look.
Yeah. So what Mike's talking about is he complained last show that because women deserve to wear skirts and they don't deserve pants, and that's what he said. I mean, these are his words, not mine. He said, "Listen, barefoot, pregnant, in the kitchen with a skirt on. That's how I like them. And how dare she think that she can do better? So he was very upset that Supergirl decided that she needed pants, even though they film in Canada and it's cold. So
why you got to film in Canada?
Because the film tax credits are great in Canada, which is why a lot of places, Stargate SG-1 filmed in Canada.
Thanks. All right.
Universe
thanks a lot, Trump.
Hey, I'm just telling you.
Actually, no. This show started before when Obama was still in office. So thanks, Obama.
Yeah.
Look, here's my point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even so much mad that they ditched the skirt. All right, I'm sympathetic about that. But they gave her, it's like a jumper looking, it's like a catsuit looking thing. And I'm sorry, when I look at it, I don't see Supergirl. Okay? I don't.
Yeah. Who do you see?
I just don't like the outfit. Who do I see? I see somebody changing my oil down at Jiffy Lube. I don't like the outfit. It is not befitting of a superhero, even if it does have a cape.
So, let's see. I was trying to find a full picture, but it's very difficult. Okay, so here's one that's going to be close enough, I think. Maybe.
Dude, that is not the picture you just found. Is not the picture I'd say.
That's not it. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. That's good. That's good.
That's better.
All right, so that's what we're looking at now.
Basically,
is what she'd look like. Okay, and that's not what Mike says she should look like. Mike says instead, I like them. I like them more like this. That's what you're saying. Is that what you think of when you think Supergirl, right, Mike?
Well, see, I also think that they made the boots smaller with the new suit.
Nope, they still go up to the knees.
Is that fan art or is that?
It might be fan art, but
because
I think it's still pretty darn close.
The only actual picture I saw was at the very end of the trailer for the new season.
I don't know that
where
we
she
have
does the superhero landing. And
yeah,
I don't know. I'm not exactly
trying to see if we have an actual picture with pants, but I don't see anything.
As we're talking about this, I realize that there is no way for me to come off not sounding sexist about this.
Okay, here we go.
That is truly not the case.
View image. Where's view image? There it is. All right, so here we go, Mike. Here we can bounce between the two pretty easily here. All right. Yeah, so let's just do it. All right, so here is pants. All right. So that's what they got her looking like. Some like carbon fiber looking outfit with pants. Or
that's Ford Active X material right there.
Maybe she's got a heater. Maybe she's got a heated suit now. I don't know. Or, skirt. So skirt.
Maybe this is my
Pants.
problem. The fact that there's like no red in the middle, it's just I don't know, man. Maybe that's where my issue is.
They changed the belt too, it looks like. The belt's pretty changed.
I think it's going to be very dependent on the cape.
I think what color it is, because this is a dark shot, so we're not seeing the cape color real well here.
Yeah.
And that cape is supposed to be the blanket that Clark was wrapped up in, that Superman was wrapped up in. That's the story.
Well, that's Superman's story.
No, that's her story according to the Supergirl TV show.
So according to the Supergirl TV show,
her cape,
Clark gave her his blanket.
Yes. Which is why it's bulletproof. It's Kryptonian.
So what's he
fabric.
wearing?
He's not wearing his blanket. He's wearing something else, not his blanket. Because I specifically remember that it's in the first season of Supergirl. I think it's like episode 1 or 2. I think, possibly. She gets a box because she's just chatting back and forth with Clark. Because I've only watched like the first couple seasons. She's chatting back and forth to Clark because you don't even get to see Superman for a while. Because I think there was questions about whether they wanted him to show up depending upon the movie thing, how movies went. And so you just see IM conversations going back and forth.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden she gets a box at home after she saves an airplane or something that says, "Congratulations, I knew you could do it." And in there folded is his blanket already made into a cape for her. And that's when the first time you see her with the cape. So,
well, maybe his blanket was so big that he actually was able to make two.
Could be. I don't know.
So she got his spare.
Maybe one's a sheet and one's a blanket. I don't know. I don't know how Kryptonian bedwear works. Maybe their bed linens are complete. Is it a Bed Bath and Krypton? I'm not sure.
Well, I just know that both of you need to watch Shazam so we can discuss that one.
I watched Shazam.
Oh, you did watch Shazam. Okay.
Okay, so, Mike, overall impressions of Shazam.
As dumb as it's going to sound,
I
did not like the ending.
You didn't? Now, the very ending or like the
family portion.
The family portion? Okay.
I felt that could have been a plot point for a later movie.
See, I thought that it was good. I really liked it.
I did like it.
I've replayed that part over and over again because I typically, if I want to rewatch a movie, I just jump to different spots in it.
Same way.
Primary points, and that was one of them that I will jump to. Yeah,
the family grabbing the staff and becoming superheroes.
See, we weren't going to give it away,
and it's a. Oh, you mean Clark Kent is really Superman? For that character, that's okay. And the scene when the bad guy is doing the bad man speak and
oh yeah, that was funny when they're blocks apart and he can't hear. I can't hear you.
So, it was basically the entire theme of that movie, though, Mike. The entire theme was family. So they could have kept that all away for a different movie, but since the theme of the movie was basically that, when I first saw it in the theater, when it was doing the family stuff at the beginning, I was a little bored. I was like, "Oh, this is just the usual extra stuff at the beginning of a superhero movie, and none of this stuff matters." And then you got to the end, you're like, "Oh, it all mattered." And so then I had to see it again with seeing it as what it was supposed to be, not what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But I think everybody in that movie was great, and I'm looking forward to seeing more movies in the future with that cast.
Yeah, it will be interesting because I know they're going to do. I know they can't. Like I said, they can't push out a sequel fast enough.
Yeah,
because that was such a big hit for them. Where DC necessarily, other than say Aquaman, hasn't had a huge success.
Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Shazam have been their 3 successes.
Yeah,
they pretty much have, unofficially through the news grapevine, they've pretty much abandoned Superman at this point. They feel Superman just does not work as a movie.
Well, they did announce that Henry Cavill will be back as Superman, though,
as a standalone character. They're not. I don't think they're going to be doing any standalone Superman movies.
No, but I think they will. There was still some rumblings about a Justice League sequel, but I think it's been put off several years.
How are they going to do that now? Because now they got Sparkle Fingers as Batman.
Oh yes. I've been trying to ignore the existence of that, Mike.
The only way that it could have been worse is if they got Mannequin Skywalker to play Batman.
Yeah,
I mean, this is just...
It's crazy how well the TV side of DC is doing.
Yes.
You know, and how poorly, really, the movie side is doing. When you'd think it would be the other way around.
It has been the other way around for Marvel.
Yeah.
So that's...
Because
I think that's it. Yeah. Marvel did not invest heavily in the TV properties.
But they left it to other people.
Yeah, DC, TV, their crossover, that saved them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay? Doing the crossover event generated interest, and supposedly in this crossover, Black Lightning is going to appear.
Yeah.
So they're going to fold that show into it.
Right. It's going to be the end for Arrow. It's basically how they're going to exit out the Oliver Queen story, which that is not. While the ratings have been slipping for Green Arrow, it's not necessarily the reason why. Stephen Amell actually asked for Green Arrow to be over before during season 7. So, because he believes in going out while you're still on top and not teetering to the finish. So, it's a good thing. You know,
now, before we get to movie
that doesn't
reviews,
happen enough.
We actually have a related story I wanted to hit real quick.
Sure.
And that was the news that Disney Plus will be available as a Hulu add-on.
Yeah, which I think is going to be interesting because there are so many of these different services that are starting to bundle. So, like, I know you can get T-Mobile and you can get Hulu for free. You know, when it's included with your subscription. Like, I'm a Spotify person, I can get Hulu included. Or you can get... there's another service which includes like YouTube Red included. You know, we're seeing all these things where it's basically auto bundles, okay, or bonus offers or whatever like that. But sometimes you run into issues, and I'm not sure how it's going to work in this case, when you then want to upcharge what's being bundled, okay? Because, like you said, Disney Plus is going to be offered as an add-on to the standard Hulu offering.
Right.
Okay, so it'll be an additional charge. Kind of like adding optional, cable channels to your package, if you will. So, for somebody like me who's going to have Spotify paying for my Hulu, is that still going to work? Because when I went in to set up Spotify to pay for my Hulu, which was very good, and I've been told by other people that other such bundlings doesn't work. Like for T-Mobile, I had a friend who switched to T-Mobile just specifically for the Hulu add-in. He's like, I was paying Verizon and I was paying Hulu. I went to whatever, and it's T-Mobile, and it's cheaper. Not only is the T-Mobile service cheaper, but now I get Hulu for free. He goes, but I had to completely deactivate my old Hulu account and bring up a brand new one because they couldn't just switch my billing. Whereas when I did Spotify, I just went to Spotify and they said, okay, do you want to activate Hulu? Yes, I do. Are you a new subscriber or do you have an existing account? I said existing. And then it says, okay, put in your information. I did it. And it says, okay, your billing has now been directed over to Spotify. So if my billing's been directed to Spotify, how easy is it going to be to add something on?
Well, have you tried?
No, because I don't. I haven't had a need because, honestly, I haven't used Hulu since I did that.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see what you're saying. So basically, Spotify doesn't give you a credit to cover Hulu,
they take over the billing.
Right. But Hulu itself already has add-ons.
Yeah, so I don't know. Well, it's going to be interesting.
So you may have to pay the add-on portion directly to Hulu.
Yeah, so that's going to be a question, is if that's an option. And actually, I'm logging into my Hulu account right now. So add-ons none. Other plans and add-ons are available. To learn more about premium service like Hulu Live, please press the... Okay, Hulu, you are billed for this plan by Spotify for billing information or changes. So, see here, Hulu plus Live TV. So if I wanted to go into Hulu plus Live TV...
Well, go to add-ons at the top.
Okay, add-ons.
Because there's other add-ons, like I think Showtime and HBO and stuff.
Okay. Oh, unlimited screens. Network add-ons. What's network add-ons? Okay, so... Yeah, but there's no good network add-ons. But yeah, so I could add... Actually, see, all of those are grayed out.
Interesting.
So, I wonder why they're grayed out. Are they grayed out because of the way I'm doing it? Or not? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So...
Well, I can find out.
You know...
Yeah, like... My computer's dead.
It'll be interesting to see how that works, because I think they'll need to come up with ways to deal with that. I mean, if you're going to keep doing these types of combos, then yeah, you'll have to do that. So,
but point being, it's going to be good if we see some integration here. We don't, like, Amazon already has some. Like, you can get CBS through Amazon Prime.
Mm.
And I would do that, except then it becomes more difficult. If you're on somebody else's TV and they have Amazon Prime, then if you have your CBS through your Prime, the only way to use the CBS on their TV is to completely kick out their account off the TV and take it over. I have CBS as a separate account, so I can just log directly into CBS from their TV, and we can watch whatever I have access to. So that's the kind of give and take on this whole thing. I think the idea of having something through Hulu is great. Having something integrated to something that devices are integrated with, it's going to become cumbersome.
Yeah. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how it works. I mean, I do like the idea of them just adding it on to an existing thing. So,
yeah. Also, they did announce the full list of content that will be on Disney Plus, but maybe we'll talk about that next time.
Okay. See, look, here we go. It's right here. At this time, you won't be able to sign up or access the Hulu no ads plan, Hulu plus Live TV, or premium networks if you sign up for Hulu plus Spotify. So the answer is yes, I'm blocked out of it because I'm not paying, because that billing has been switched over. So, and Sprint...
But it says you can, so...
no, it says at this time you won't be able to sign up.
Sprint says you can.
Yeah, Sprint says you're eligible, ad-supported, includes Hulu ad-supported. For an additional price, you can switch to another plan. Okay. No, look, premium networks aren't available on such Sprint-billed Hulu plans.
So it's interesting that you do have the ability to upgrade some things on Sprint.
But not others.
Nothing
like
on
Roku
Spotify.
Build. Okay, Roku Build, you can do the add-ons. Interesting. I didn't know that you could do that right through Roku, but okay. iTunes Build, Amazon Build. So yeah, that's all kinds of different ways that you can be a Hulu subscriber. Not that is our major streaming platform, folks, but...
In fact, nothing. We never watch movies on Hulu for...
Does Hulu have original movies? Should we expand?
Yeah, they do have movies.
Well, they have.
I'm not sure how many
more
bad
original
movies.
TV shows.
Yeah.
Isn't that where the damn Orville's going?
Yes.
Yep.
Bastards.
No, they're going to CBS Go, which is not Hulu.
No. The Orville is not going to CBS Go.
They're going to Hulu because they're run by Disney.
Okay, I thought they were going to CBS Go.
No, that'd be because that would mean CBS would be
they're
competing
Fox.
with each
They're
other.
Fox. I'm sorry.
Yes,
it's not. Okay, they'd be competing with Star
Trek.
Trek.
Yes.
Damn you, McFarlane!
But hey, if let's say, several years from now, Orville's still on, they've been going several years strong on Hulu, then it's going to be, okay, it was great.
Yeah. Time will tell.
Exactly.
Yeah. It is going to be interesting to see how that landscape plays out, because we talk about it all the time. There has been a reduction of traditional cable for subscribers.
Yeah, I think the real question is going to be some of those real traditional pure cable channels, like History and Discovery,
QVC.
TLC. Well, QVC nobody cares about.
Oh man, think about an internet-based streaming QVC.
I mean, there probably is such a thing.
This is what's I think the next major change in the landscape is going to be providers not wanting to pay for full bundles of networks.
Mm-hmm.
Like a couple years back when I had Cablevision, they got into an argument with Scripps. And Scripps had HGTV, Food Network, etc. So basically, you had to pay for those two, but in reality, you were getting 6 channels, 4 of which nobody gives a damn about.
Right.
So you're going to see those nobody gives a damn channels start to fade. You're not going to have 17 HBOs anymore. Yeah. You're going to have HBO, and you're going to have the on-demand for HBO, but you're going to have HBO. So essentially, by subscribing, you're not getting a multiple of live channels, but you're getting the streaming ability that you would get if you paid directly to them.
Yeah.
Did that make sense?
Yeah. To answer my own question, yes, you can do live stream for QVC.
Yeah, that's why I said QVC.
They are available on Roku, Sling, Apple TV, Fire Stick.
Yeah,
all the devices. I just think that's great. A channel that hardly anyone watches, that actively. Okay, no one should be watching QVC.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
No. In order to keep my friend Eric employed, I believe people need to watch QVC.
Okay.
With that said, let us move on to our movie reviews.
Well, you can tell him Aunt Pat watches QVC, so because that's where she bought her vacuum cleaner.
Okay, good.
And she texted me and said, "What do you think? I got it on QVC." All right. So tonight our movie reviews. The movies we had to review were Braven from Amazon Prime, and then Like Father from Netflix. Okay, we will do Braven first. Okay, and Braven is an interesting movie. Okay, so Braven is a action adventure film, okay, with just a touch of drama to make it heartwarming. Well, not heartwarming, but interesting. All right, so Braven made it on this list because Jason Momoa, okay, is the lead character. Mm-hmm. And so when I was going through Amazon Prime looking for action adventure films, and I saw a 2018 film, Jason Momoa, and he looks like he's being a badass, I said, this needs to be on our list. Okay, now, in true style, he was a badass in this film. Super badass. Okay, I will say this. The first half hour of the movie is a little slow. All right? Is a little slow. Also, if like me, you want to beat the little child, all right, that's in this movie, you are not alone. All right? Some kids need a whooping. All right? And this little girl is constantly misbehaving and getting herself into trouble. And it drives me nuts. it drove me to the point where I wish someone would have killed her in the movie. All right? It could have served her right. All right? Now, I have to also admit, I was watching this movie at 11:30 last night. Okay? May have had something to do with it. Okay? But the little girl kept pissing me off. All right? Grandpa didn't piss me off. The little girl was pissing me off. And for some reason, I kept thinking that that it was the guy from Black Flag that was playing the bad guy, Henry Rollins.
Oh, yeah,
and not the other guy, because they kind of look alike, and they definitely have that bad guy stare down pat. So, if you like a bad guy, all right, this is a good movie for you, because this guy is bad. All right, he plays a true bad guy. All right, and I want to know if he killed the waitress. We never find out if he did or not, but I want to know if he killed the waitress. Okay. The fact that I'm not going to ruin the last scene of the movie, but Jason Momoa and a bear trap. All right. If there's any doubt in your mind that he's a badass, you just watch till the end. I was surprised. All right. I didn't see it. Oh, the leg strength he must have. That's all I'm gonna. So, this was. It was a good movie. It wasn't a great movie, but it was definitely a good movie. If you like action films, I think you're gonna like this after the first half hour. So I'm giving this a smile, because this for me was a good movie. I actually stayed awake, which was amazing considering it was almost 1:00 by the time it was over. Or 1:30 almost. The time it was over. You do have to get through the slow start, though. So that's the only thing that keeps this from being a shnikes is the slow start. All right, Colin.
So, Braven. First off, before I get into my review, what was little girl doing that was pissing you off? She does one thing she isn't supposed to do in the entire movie.
Oh no, she didn't want to go to bed. She's climbing in trees, being bad. She's she running away. She's disobeying. She's not running fast enough. She's standing there, turning around, and just waiting. And you're like, run now! Don't run. Run.
She was given one job, which is to climb the mountain and
she
call somebody.
Stood there and stared like a deer.
And she managed to do it.
Barely.
Did her job.
Barely. All right.
Okay.
The good thing it was a movie, because she'd have been caught.
So Braven is a movie with Jason Momoa, and one of my favorite. My computer's dead. Can you bring up the cast list?
So Mike Nolan,
Stephen Ling, one of my favorite character actors. I always remember back to Space Above and Beyond, where he played the drill sergeant. That was a great movie. TV show. Stephen Lee plays the father of the main character, who's played by Jason Momoa. But he was hurt the previous year. And so now Jason Momoa and his wife character are now dealing with a father who is not quite right in the head, and he's getting into farts.
Yeah, he's getting into farts. He's farting everywhere.
And so they're trying to solve the problem of what do you do with a senior citizen whose mind is going and that they don't know what to do with. So what they come up with is they get a bunch of drug people to come and kill the father for them. Apparently, if you're taking the entire first part of this movie as part of the movie, that seems to be the actual storyline of this movie, is get some drug lords to come and kill him for you, and now you don't have to take care of him anymore. But beyond that, I'll say, what I hate in movies are stupid characters. Characters doing stupid things. All the characters are stupid, and you're just watching this going, who wrote this? There are exactly two stupid characters in this movie. They're the two characters who are the inciting characters who hide drugs in the main character's cabin. And they are killed without any remorse in this movie. Everybody else in this movie is intelligent and doing things intelligently. And I very much like that in a movie that does not rely on stupidity. Everything you see through this movie, there are cops who every time something goes wrong, they're not hemming and hawing and pretending, this nothing's wrong's going on. They're like, oh, no, we'll go check on that, get on the radio, let everybody know, hey, this is where we're going. We think there's been shots fired. Hey, there has been shots fired. Get more people up here. It's just, it's consistent, actual real people in these characters who would react in ways that it makes sense they'd react. The good guys are trying to outsmart the bad guys. The bad guys are not outsmarted. They're just outweighted until help can arrive. And I liked that, how this movie laid out that way. I also liked how Jason Momoa, even though, yes, he's a badass in this movie, is not Aquaman in this movie. There are no scenes of him just beating up people. He's barely. This is closer to Bruce Willis in the original Die Hard. He manages to survive, but you never really get the sense that he's like completely outclassing these people.
I see where you're coming from. Mike's making a funny face, but I see where you're coming from there a little bit.
The initial statement of that comparison. Really? Go ahead.
But it's an everyman character. It's a man who usually plays superheroes or aliens in Stargate, playing something closer to an actual human. And I like that. He didn't have to put on a fake leg like The Rock did. He just played a guy. So I am not going to give this to Schnackis, but I liked it very much. So it's a big grin for me.
Okay. So this is where my many years of watching Ice Road Truckers comes into play. First thing I notice, and this disturbs me very much, is there are no straps on the logs on the back of that truck. There's just logs. They never strap down the load. Why? Porter beer. This tastes like a shit milkshake. It's a damn good thing that our show titles have to be PG rated. Otherwise, we would have had it. I agree with you guys that Garrett Dillahunt is one of the spookiest bad guys we have encountered in a while. I mean, this guy is just so even-keeled. Even while he's bashing a dude's head against the table, that is the sign of a pure psychopath right there. And Stephen Lang, he is not the guy I want to get into an argument with in any movie except Tombstone, where he plays the whiny little bitch. Listen, we don't have no law here, Mr. Kansas law dog. Law don't fly right here. And don't kill me, please. Here you go, ladies. Free tip from your Uncle Mike. You want to see Jason Momoa shirtless? Skip to the 59-minute mark of the movie and prepare to hit pause. Stay here in the garage. You know damn well Pops ain't staying in the garage. This is not going to end well for anybody. The man don't even remember you're lucky he remembered how to work the rifle. He ain't going to remember to stay hidden. So now Jason Momoa decides that he's going to fight everybody with kitchen utensils, and it's amazing how quickly the fire heats up these metal kitchen utensils, because the clamps was in the fire for about a total 12 seconds. And he took them out, and they were glowing red hot. So I have issue with some of the realism in this movie. And I will agree, there is no way in hell I am going to spoil that final fight scene, because goddamn holy hell, that was friggin' awesome. And just further proof that Momoa is not to be effed with.
Mm-hmm.
So, Puke This Night, I'm giving this a smile as well. It was a pretty good movie. I'm going to say it was a sleeper hit, if you will. The acting was decent, though I do wish a few of the more annoying characters, like the Indian, died sooner. Not the little girl, but the Indian. Maybe some of the cops.
Oh, I want to find out who was the other cop. Who was the deputy? Ty Alexander, I think, was his name. Let's see here, because I swear he's been in something else that we've watched or that I've seen at least. He seems like a sleazeball. He seems like he's been like typical. I could have swore he was in My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah, he was definitely the much less good at his job policeman, sheriff, deputy.
Okay, he hasn't been, but boy, he sure did remind me of the guy from My Cousin Vinny. So
it was obvious that they were not prepared to go up against a drug lord and his flunkies, and so they paid the price there. But
yeah, but no,
well, see, okay, so I was watching that, and okay, so and I'm not going to go into the actual end here,
mm-hmm.
but that end sequence.
Mm-hmm.
So Jason Momoa's character is running after the bad guy, leaving behind his wife. And I was watching it, and I realized what the story point here was. Why is this character chasing this other character?
Oh, because killed Pops.
That's part of it.
Oh, I knew he was gonna. I knew something bad was gonna happen to him when he killed
But
Pops.
just
and he took the drugs.
Just that was not good enough. The character was afraid that his daughter was still out there on the mountain. So he can't let the bad guy just run off because he might run into the daughter.
I think he knew that the bad guy was going to come back because, and that got said in the little dialogue at the end is, hey, I'm gonna gut all of you, you know.
But still, I think
because that's how a bad guy would really work.
Well,
yeah,
I think he just wanted to make sure that he wasn't reborn as Skynet.
So
I just say I liked the writing. It was very well written. I understood the motivation of the characters at that point. There was nobody doing something for stupid reasons.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is weird that finally we have a movie where you're right. You made a good point. Everybody did what was logical and reasonable, and you would have expected them to do. Because normally, so many times we have a bumbling cop, or we have criminals that don't think. Yeah. They just react. The fact that he, stopped the car, when he was chasing the ATV, and he goes, "Wait a second, why is the ATV going back down when help is the opposite way?" And then he said, "Okay, I'll take the high road and get him, and you keep going around." I mean, the bad guy was smart.
Yeah. Or usually in these movies you have, the female character, the wife, runs off into a bad situation, making it worse because she is now a victim. And can be called no.
By the way, my only problem with that whole sequence at the end. She stabbed that guy like 6 times.
With a very short knife.
But 3 of them in the leg.
Yeah.
He would have bled out.
Most probably.
All right. He would not have been chasing her the mile or so back to the cabin.
Nope.
True.
He was, nope.
No.
It was so cold.
I don't think it was that cold that it would have stopped the femoral artery from bleeding out.
But that being said, that entire sequence of the wife shows up with a knife and with arrows and herself kicks butt.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay, great. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
She's not just a victim.
Yes.
But she does get into that role. I mean, she does defends her kid, takes a couple shots, and then has to receive a couple shots because she's now in too close for bow action. But
instead of stupidly like trying to pull another arrow or something, she pulls out a knife.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay.
the whole thing made sense. Okay, now on to the second one really quick. Like Father. Yeah. All right, my review, I didn't watch it. I ran out of time.
That's part of the reason I went so far on the first one.
Yep. Colin, you're up.
Let's go ahead, Mike.
All right, so look. Guys, any woman who is taking a business call moments before walking down the aisle, one that, A, you don't marry her if you got a prenup, and B, marry in a community property state, because she is a damn good first wife. Now, I never noticed this until now, but I wrote down that this is an omen about this wedding, that as the bridal party is walking in, it's to the same music, which I now realize is common. But it's the same music that the band played as the last song while the Titanic was sinking. I never made this connection to weddings before until I saw this wedding. And this bitch still on her phone. The big thing I'm noticing right away is how many actors shot scenes for this movie in between takes from other Netflix properties. Kirsten's boss, he was in this last season of Stranger Things. The photographer at the wedding and the chip lady were both in Orange is the New Black. And I said I would see how many more I could pick out by the end, but I just gave up. No. There better be marijuana involved if Kirsten Bell is hooking up with Seth Rogen. That's all I got to say about that one. And then Seth Rogen is in a movie. We knew they're going to be spleef, man. But then his character, do you want the heat, man? No, I never touched the stuff yet. Okay, that's the funniest part of the movie right there. Seth Rogen saying he's sober and don't smoke pot. All right. So look, I don't have much else to say. I gave this one a smile as well. This was a legit good movie. I kind of got the same vibe as I did with another movie we watched. I went back and looked, which I also gave a smile to. Hello, my name is Doris. I felt that these were very much in the same vein, to the point where they would almost make a good double feature, back to back, if you were watching the movies. I don't know, Colin, how do you feel about that?
Well, I gave Hello, My Name is Doris a refuse to review, mostly because I found it to be a perfectly good real movie that I didn't much like. So I didn't want to give it a bad review because I didn't think it required it, but I didn't want to give it a good review because I didn't like it. This movie is also in the kind of genre of movies that I generally don't like. I don't like watching romantic comedies because mostly they rely too much on stupidity, people misunderstanding each other, stuff like that. And I just, I hate that kind of thing. This movie, so Kirsten Dunst plays a very, very go-getting marketing type person.
Kirsten Bell.
Bell? Did I say
Kirsten Dunst.
Thank you. Kirsten Bell. Dunst. She's in Spider-Man. No. Thank you, because I probably would have kept saying that. Kirsten Bell is, and she's marrying for all the wrong reasons. And her father, who she hasn't seen in years, who is very much her as a man, being played by Kelsey Grammer. He of Frasier fame. And so they do reconnect after the marriage falls apart. They get very drunk, and they end up on her honeymoon, which was set up by her failed husband to be. Everything about this movie I enjoyed very much. I think the characters were a lot of fun. There is one thing about this movie I did not like, and that is actually the very ending of the movie. The very ending of the movie, I think, is a little bit off on tone. Because I think they had to be very. She needed to have more of a life, but I think they also needed to make it like she couldn't not have her job as well. I think that was a little unbalanced at the end of her still doing her job and having a life. They could have balanced that a bit better than her running off again from her job, taking vacation again to go cross country to her father, seeing the house that anyway. It's just the ending there. It was almost just Nikes except for the ending, and that's on a curve. You know, I'm not saying I would rather watch this movie than say Braven, for example, the Steike scale. But for this type of movie, this is one of the best of this type of movies I've seen. Mm. So, like I said, it drops just off Schneikes because of the ending. Everything else about the movie is great. It has humor without being brain dead about it. And I think a lot of it has to do with who's in it. I think it's very well directed. That's why, by the way, Seth Rogen's in it at all, because his wife is the director and writer of it. I'm looking forward to whatever else she wants to do. I looked up, and she's an actress. She really hasn't done anything big that anything would come in. But this, I think, is a good example of I could see me wanting to watch more movies from her. I'd more likely want to watch her movies than her husband's movies.
So yeah, so she's a director and a producer. She did this movie called For a Good Time Call, which I think I've seen a former college frenemies, Lauren and Kate, move into a fabulous Gramercy Park apartment, and in order to make ends meet, the unlikely pair start a phone sex line together.
Yeah, she's produced many things. I think this was her first movie that she's directed. Mm.
Yeah, the first movie. She's had a few short things. Mostly, it looks like she did a lot of work for. I guess Seth Rogen has a charity foundation that he runs, and so she's involved in that, which is great. Okay, so based off of you two's things, I will definitely watch this, and
you can probably watch it with your wife.
Okay, yeah,
she'd probably like it a lot
if she ever comes back home. Yeah, which is not to mean that she left or anything. It's that
family health issues.
Yeah, the reason why I didn't have time to watch it was because her dad got out of rehab yesterday, and the doctor said for the first 2 or 3 days he needs somebody to be with him because he's at a very high fall risk. And so, of course, to hear him say it, she's staying at least a week. And so she goes, I don't know that I can...
Why don't we postpone then, dude?
Because she's there, I'm here. Somebody has to watch the dogs. And, right. It's not a big deal. It's okay. She understands. Trust me, she would rather be here too. She actually said, "Can I do your show tonight instead?" And that's after one night with her dad. So
that's why the studio hasn't been modified as was originally said.
That's going to happen maybe in September. If you're old like us and you remember the "Help! I've fallen and I can't get up," that is coming on Wednesday. So I will be installing one of those. Installing one of those, and I may do a short video about it just because.
All right, let's.
Because if they have me test that at all, I want somebody recording it. I want to do my own version of "Help! I've fallen and I can't get up." So, all right, what do we got? 1 to 42, Mike?
No, actually 1 to 37 because I filled in blanks.
Okay. 23.
23. Oh Lord, not. Okay, it's available. Oh, wait a minute now.
What?
Okay. This is on Amazon.
Okay.
I have high hopes for this.
Uh-huh.
Mazes and Monsters.
Mazes and Monsters. So, the Tom Hanks movie.
That's why I said I have high hopes for it.
Yeah, so it's a Tom Hanks movie that bound together by a desire to play Mazes and Monsters, Robbie and his 4 college classmates decide to move the board game into a local legendary cavern. When Robbie starts having real-life visions, the line between reality and fantasy fuse into a harrowing adventure. This was I think I put this on the list because it was an unknown Tom Hanks movie. I thought I knew almost every Tom Hanks movie.
I think I barely remember seeing it on cable when I was much younger.
So it'll be interesting.
Okay.
All right. I mean, not to say Tom Hanks didn't do flops.
Oh, he did.
Because he did.
Yeah.
Right. 27.
7.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
What is it?
Is this actually going to play? Wait a minute. Oh, Christ.
What is
it's
it?
on Netflix. Hop and a Half, New Recruit.
Okay, so much like Kindergarten Cop 2, this is a not a reboot. It's supposedly a sequel to the original Cop and a Half, which was a Burt Reynolds movie. All right, so that tells you how old the original was. All right, that Burt Reynolds was in it, and this was back when he was big. Cop and a Half stars Lou Diamond Phillips.
Oh, Lord.
All right, a world-weary detective is forced to team up with a 12-year-old who thinks she's a cop in order to solve a case that's baffled police. So, again, here we have movies which could be horrible, but they have actors that have done great work. So this is going to be interesting, I think.
What year was this?
This is 2017.
Yeah, Lou Diamond Phillips is kind of washed up at this point. He'll do anything.
Well, remember, he was on Stargate Universe.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I know that's not the epitome of greatness for actors.
Yeah,
He's been on Celebrity Chef Cook-Off thing on Food Network.
Yeah. So I just think
against Coolio.
So
yeah,
it'll be interesting. We'll be able to judge how much he's lost in his acting chops.
Well, you can't be any worse than Eric Roberts, so.
You're right. You can't. So with that said, folks, you've been listening to PTR Radio, and we want to thank you for tuning in and checking out the show. The best thing you can do to help the show is to tell a friend about it. Tell a friend, get them signed up for the podcast, let them listen to a couple of shows. You know, there's always downtime that they can listen to it. They don't have to listen to the whole 2 hours all at one time. Just listen to it, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. There's a drive to work or on the subway or whatever. Just have them listen to it. Have it in the car if you're a carpooler, and just so that people get a little taste of it. All right, we just want people to listen, and you're the way that we get that to happen. Right now, we've got our next show coming up on August 19th is when we're scheduled to be back on again. And if that needs to change at all, you need to keep an eye on our social media feeds. So Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at PTR Radio. Get signed up, follow us on those, and you'll be the first to know if we have to reschedule for any reason or if we have something bonus posted. On any of those platforms. Mm-hmm. You would have seen pics from my DJ gig if you were following us, or if you want to follow us now, go ahead and get caught up. So, other than that, I don't have anything coming up soon. I just did my big thing. I will have one in September, though. I know that already. I will have a public charity event, charity trivia night, and then the next one so far I know that I have is in February. So, but there's lots of time in between now and then. So, folks, with that said, I'm Shaggy.
I'm Colin.
I am Mike the 8 Man.
Stick a fork in us, folks. We are done. Later.